Hey everybody, it's Kim Hughes. I'm a few minutes late. We have a rescue dog, big old pit bull lab, adorable dog, but he showed up last week. We figured he came up from the South Texas floods and the hurricanes and all that, and he just got kind of lost. So we have him in our possession, and we had to pick him up today. We had him, we took him to the vet and had all kinds of stuff done, and he's not feeling good. And so this big 80-pound, one-year-old puppy is very high maintenance. So he was calling my name. So anyway, just throwing it out there, if you hear some whining in the background, that's him crying, wanting my attention. Okay, so what we're going to do today, I'm going to kind of adjust this a little bit. You're kind of getting, sorry about that. Okay, so maybe that's going to be a bit better. Hopefully everybody can see everything and not see a glare. I was seeing that. So what I wanted to do today is talk to you about your database. There's a lot of people really unorganized in this area of their business. So what we thought we would do is kind of touch base on it, give you some tips on how to make it better, and then, you know, hopefully these are tips that you'll walk away with and apply them to your business and take it very seriously. And then as you go through the end of the year, you're going to set yourself up for even a better 2018, because your database is the heart of your business. Okay, this is where every person that you have worked with, whether they were a buyer or a seller or a relocation or family, friends, whatever that case may be, these are the people that are going to give you future business. They're going to send you referrals, and they're going to be all that. They're going to be your fans. So we really want to focus on nurturing that database so that you're not working so hard trying to build your business based on the leads that you're getting. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with leads, and there's nothing wrong with paying for those leads to a point. But I look at it that if you took the amount of money that you spend monthly in putting it into lead generation programs, and you took that money and you put it into a marketing strategy on how to nurture your clients that you have in your database, you will see that return of investment so much quicker. It will last and stretch so much further and be so much better for your business and set you up for success from here on out. And you have heard this not just from me, but from every real estate coach, every CRM program, other real estate agents. This is a very important topic, and it's a very important part of your business. So I hope you've got a pen and some paper and maybe some water. It is 5 o'clock, so you can have a glass of wine or maybe a coffee. So let's kind of talk about, I made some notes, so I want to make sure I don't forget anything, because I really don't want to take a whole lot of time on this. I just want to kind of give you something to start thinking about. So the thing that the first thing that I want you to really, really focus on is, where does your time go every day? Now, stay with me on this, because I know you're going to think, what does time have to do with my database? But you have to structure your time to devote to your database. That's the number one key. And if you're not going to devote that time and set that time aside to really clean it up, get it organized, get the information updated on your clients, then there's really no point in staying on this live event with me, because this is what I'm going to talk to you about. So when I say, you know, let's look at your everyday, how you do your time management, how you're organized, how you plan that day to be successful at the end of the day, whether it's in your personal or your business, right? So what I would like for you to do is say, you know, well, I get up at 6, I exercise, I do my motivational, I do my meditation, my yoga. I may look at my planner and map out my day of what my clients are doing, etc. But what I want you to really focus on is, where can you find an extra 10 to 20, maybe even 30 minutes a day to sit down and organize your database so that it is in great condition. So depending on how big your database is going to depend on how much time you spend getting it organized. So if you're fairly new in the business, you may have 50 people. You may not even have 5. But this is even for those that don't even have a large database. This is for you because you're going to start off already out of the gate 100% organized. Now, if you've been in the business for a while and you have a little bit of a database, you may have 100 people, you may have a couple of hundred. Again, you're going to be in a better position to take the time to organize it now instead of next year when you may have 300, 500. So let's look at it that way. And then if you're that agent that has been in business for a long time and you're like, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about database because you have thousands of people in that database. This is a good tip and strategy for you as well. So what I've done here is I'm hoping to cover all aspects of agents regardless of where you are in your business. So these are going to be tips that you can apply to no matter where you are. Brand new, seasoned, been in the business 30 years. Okay. So my tips are going to be, where do you have your database right now? Where do you store that database? Do you have a CRM program? Is it on the back end of a website? Is it in your smartphone? Is it on an Excel spreadsheet? You know, where is your database? That's the first thing you need to identify, is where it is, and then is it accessible for you to actually get to it to where you can organize it. So if it's in your phone, then you need to move it to your desktop or your laptop, and then you need to organize it. And the best way to do that is an Excel spreadsheet, because then you can move columns around, you can move people around, you can delete, you can add, do all kinds of things. You can add anything you want, you can subtract anything from it, and then you've got a really good system. So what I want you to do after that is, once you've made that determination, you know, write it down. My database is in my smartphone. It's in my CRM program, my smartphone, my Excel spreadsheet. I keep it on my desktop, whatever that is. Okay, there's no right or wrong way at this time where it is. Just identify that you even have one. And then what I want you to do is kind of think about how that database is organized right now. Is it already in a format or in a group that you have, you know, maybe your past clients, you have leads from whatever program, you know, it could be Zillow, Realtor.com, could be from your website leads. You know, where do you have your past clients? These are people that you have either represented in the sale or the purchase of a home. Then you're going to have leads, and then you need to identify, where did these leads come in from? Because we want to track that. So that would be a column. So let's say your database is in a smartphone, you're going to download it to the cloud, and then you're going to upload it into an Excel spreadsheet, and then I want you to add a group to your Excel spreadsheet. And then I want you to identify, what groups are you going to have? Past clients, referrals, business associates, vendors, hot, cold, warm leads, you know. So think about how you want to group them. Or a lot of people call them contact types, whatever that is. I call them categories, groups, contacts, whatever. But you've got to kind of come up with a list of how you're going to put these people in that particular area, so you know how to communicate with them. Okay, so now what I want you to do is you've got it exported, hopefully in Excel, because that's going to be the easiest way to do it. I'm not saying that's the way you should do it, it's just the easiest way. Then you're going to add a column that should be the first column, and you're going to call it a group. What groups are you going to do? So write on a sheet of paper, what groups do you feel that you need to create that identifies with your database? And then what I want you to do is, after that, go through and say, I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to sort my past clients. I want all of my past clients already in a group, and those are sorted. So you don't have to think about that anymore. Then you're going to go in and say, my family and my friends, And then that's in another group. And then you can have another group that's your local vendors, business associates, etc. These are people that in your community own a business. You do business with them. This could be maybe your insurance agent. It could be your local restaurant, whatever that may be. It's a business. And those businesses, you will be doing, you will be associating with them, but you want to do that in a different fashion. So make sure you separate them. Okay, and then once you have those particular, those are going to be the easiest things you can do. Past clients, vendors, and then family and friends. Now what that's going to leave you with is referrals. Leads. So now what we want to do is go, okay, well I have, and I'm just going to use some numbers here. Say you have 500 people in your database. 100 of them are your past clients. 20 of them is your family and friends. 30 of them are business associates. And then the whole rest of them are going to be your leads. So now what I want you to do is go through those leads and decide what category do they go in. Do they go in hot, warm, or cold? This is very elementary, and it's very simple. So you don't really have to think a whole lot about it. Then what I want you to do is take those leads that are cold. Sorry about the dog, y'all. Then what I want y'all to do is take that lead and say, okay, that's a cold lead. So now what we're going to do is identify how do you want to communicate. And I'm going to kind of move because I don't want this dog going crazy on me, because the poor little thing, he's just had surgery and everything else. So we're going to just kind of move into another room and shut the door. So then what I want you to do is, now you've got your cold, your warm, and your hot leads, right? So now what I want you to do is identify how you're going to work with these people. So what I mean by that is, if this is a cold lead, then okay, how are you going, what have you done to talk to them? Did you get that lead from a lead generation program? Maybe it was Zillow, Realtor.com, something like that. Then what do you have them on? Have you communicated with them? So when you get a lead, they should get an email from you. You should be communicating with them in some way. You should already know, are you going to be a cold lead, which is 6 months plus, in my opinion. Warm is 3 to 6 months. 0 to 3 months is hot. So the ones that are further out, yeah, you want to stay in touch with them and you want to have some kind of a system in place. But at the same time, you don't want to spend all your energy on a lead that's not going to be ready to do anything until down the road. So let's focus on the hot leads and then put them on something, market stats, the MLS search, make sure their criteria is correct. And then go from there and get all of that taken care of. So that way, that is working for you automatically. Then what I want you to do is focus really on your past clients. So what I want to do is have you create a, sheet of paper. You can make it as fancy as you want, but we're going to have a sheet of paper that's going to have all the information that you need from that past client, because what I want you to do is go through those past clients and I want you to either pick up the phone or determine right then and there how that information is updated. So just like I said, you can take a plain sheet of paper, write on their name, address, email, phone number, birthday, when was it that they bought or sold with you? Has it been a year, 2 years, 5 years? What is it? And then, even though you have maybe not communicated with them in a while, that's okay. Because what we're going to do is create a way for you to reconnect with them. And by having this information written down in front of you is going to give you what we call our notes. And that way, when you make that phone call, you might have a little butterfly in your stomach, or you may feel a little hesitant, but that's okay, because what you're going to do is have this sheet of paper in front of you so that you can have that conversation. You're going to have that information that you need from that client. So what I want you to kind of visualize here is write out maybe how you're going to start that conversation when they pick up the phone. What is it that you're going to say to them? And then how are you going to go into the conversation of saying, I need to update my records and get all the information that you want from them. And you don't want to just be that person that says, hey, this is Kim, I'm updating my records. I noticed I don't have some updated information on you. Do you have a minute to give me that information? Well, I'm going to go, no, because I'm having dinner, or I'm watching a movie, or I'm spending time with my kids. But if you call me and you start a conversation and you say to me, hey, Kim, this is, let's say, Bonnie, and I was thinking about you today, and I pulled up your information, and I noticed I don't have your birthday. Or I heard that you have had a grandchild. Or I heard that your son or daughter graduated. Or whatever that can be, and you might have to go over to their Facebook and kind of get that information and kind of look and see what's going on in their lives if it's been a while since you've talked to them. So there's something that you can identify. You just don't want to start popping off questions, because you know how you are when somebody calls you and they're just wanting information, and not taking a moment to say, hey, how you doing? How's life going? What can I do for you? You need anything? And oh, and you know what? While we're talking, let me get my records updated here. I see I don't have your birthday, and I would love to recognize you on that day. And they're going to just go, oh, well, let me give that to you. That is a normal response into asking them something that they will be tickled to death to give you. Then you can go through and say, well, let me make sure I have your email address correct, because if you changed it, I want to make sure I have it so you can get an email on all my events that I'm having, all the things that are going on in the industry, etc. And then you go into whatever else that you need from them. And as you ask a question, you talk to them about it, So if you say, my notes say that you had a dog named Lucy. How's Lucy? Well, she passed away. Okay, well, you're making a note. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, she's doing great. Things are great. Okay, when's her birthday? Because if you're a person that, like me, I'm a big I'm a big animal person. So if somebody was to send me a birthday card for my dog, I would be tickled to death. I would go, oh my gosh, that is hysterical. And I'm going to remember you because you're probably the only person that did it. So it's thinking about the little things that you can do that stand out, okay? They don't have to be monumental. You don't have to send them $100 flower arrangement or take them out to dinner and all that stuff. It's just the little things to connect with them so that they know that you appreciate them now, you appreciated them in the past, and you're going to appreciate them in the future. Make sense? Yeah. So, okay. So then, once we have done that, now, this is really important. So, when you get off the phone with that contact, that past client, you're going to have all your notes in front of them. So, as you're talking, you're going to make notes about little things that they have said or comments or anything like that, in addition to all the information you need to collect. Then, when you get off the phone, and I probably should have backed up and said this first, but what I want you to do is have you a stack of little note cards. They could be like little thank you on the front, get a picture. You can go to any card store and just pick up a little package of them. I mean, you can get them at Target, Walmart, something like that. Doesn't have to be expensive. And then get those ready, get your envelopes ready, get your stamps, get your business cards, and then when you get off the phone, as you get off the phone with that person, what I want you to do is review the information sheet that you have and all that information. And then what I want you to do is go take that and put it into your Excel spreadsheet or your CRM program, wherever that database is, so that you can update your records. You don't want to be doing that while you're on the phone with them, because then you're going to be distracted. So I want you very focused. So that's why writing it down with a pen and paper is a lot better than typing it in, because if you've ever been on the phone with somebody and they're typing in information, you hear that clickety clickety click, and then you can't pay it. You're like, well, are they even listening to me? So be cautious of that. But then what I want you to do is, after you've entered all that information, I want you to grab your thank you card and your pen, and right then I want you to send that person, write out a little note and say, "Hi Bonnie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. I've really enjoyed it." And you know, whatever that you can say that was important to them. You know, it could be that, "Oh, we just celebrated our anniversary. Oh, we're getting ready to go on a cruise," you know, something like that. So point out something in the conversation that is important to them and how it affected you. Doesn't have to be a big, long story. It's just like, you know, "Hey, have a great time on your cruise. Love to talk to you when you get back. Take care, Kim." Put your two business cards, fold it, put it in an envelope, write your envelope out, put your stamp on it, put it in a stack, move on to the next phone call. Yeah, this is going to take a little time, so you probably will spend about 15-20 minutes talking to somebody on the phone, and then another 5, maybe 10 minutes updating the records, sending a thank you card, and getting that ready to go to the mail. But that's the important part of it, is that once you've made that phone call, updated your records, now you've got your thank you card and you can send them that. When they get that in 2 or 3 days, they're going to go, "Oh my gosh, she sent me a thank you card. Wasn't that nice?" They're going to remember that little extra effort that you took, and that's going to make them feel special. And that's what's going to make them come back to you. And that's what's going to make them want to refer other people to you, because you took the time. It's just taking a few minutes. It's not a big deal. I mean, turn off Netflix tonight and start going through your database. You know, and if you say, "Well, my favorite show is, you know, Stranger Things, and it's airing tonight," you know, "Oh, I've got to watch that." Well, you don't, because guess what? You can watch it anytime. So take that time you would spend watching TV and say, "I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day in my database, and I'm going to start really focusing on who my past clients are. I'm going to reconnect with them. I'm going to really start making an effort with those people instead of chasing the lead that may never happen." Okay. Now people do get leads, and they do pan out, and they do buy, they do sell, and all of that, and that is great. But those don't need your attention as much as what your past clients need. Those are the people that's going to be there for you in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years. And what you want to do is become the agent in your community that everybody is referring to. Okay? Some of you may live in a market that's highly saturated with real estate agents. You got to step up your game. You've got to be really focused on how you're going to communicate with people, how you're going to appreciate them. And then you may live in a market that maybe not be, you know, so saturated. And you might be a little bit more relaxed because, "Oh, everybody knows me. I see everybody Friday night at the football game." They may see you, but they may not remember what you do. So let's think about that, okay? Just because they bought and sold with you does not necessarily mean that they're going to remember you as an agent when they're referring their friends and family and co-workers and everybody else to an agent. Okay, so then we're going to go down and we're going to talk about, we talked about the script. So then, now that you have that database, you know, it may take you 3 months to update it. That's okay, because this is important to your business. This is probably the most important piece of your business. So it's worth the time, the energy, and the effort. And if you have somebody that can help you with it, then that's great. Have a meeting with that person and talk about what your goal is with your database and how you can have them help you with that information. Now, I don't recommend that they make those phone calls for you. I hope that you're making those phone calls. But when you fill out that client information sheet, then maybe your assistant or that person that's helping you can take that information and put it in the CRM program. Okay? Maybe they can write the thank you note for you. You know, but you need to make the initial phone call. You need to connect with those people or reconnect with them. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So once you've done that, then your database is all, let's just say we're jumping forward 6 months and your database is all organized. You've got your past clients, you know, you're sending them birthday cards, you're sending them happy holidays, Happy New Year, whatever that is that you want to do. Then ready for 2018, you can sit down right now and create that strategy of how you're going to communicate with them next year. Okay, so hopefully you're connected with them on social media. You're going to send them a birthday card. So there's one touch, but you should have at least one touch per month. You should have a client event every year. You should have a way to thank those people that send you referrals. You should have the system in place where you are recognizing your community. You know, maybe you sponsor a charity, or maybe you sponsor, you know, the homecoming dance that's coming up. You know, whatever that is that you're involved in and makes you happy is what you should be involved in your community, whatever that may be. Dog rescue, you know. There's a lot of things that you can do that are not going to be time consuming, but they're going to attract the people that you want to be around. And then from there, what I want you to do is think about, you know, what can I do every month? You know, it doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. Maybe it's just a card saying, I'm thinking about you. Maybe it's, you know, the pumpkin patch. You know, hey, join us at the pumpkin patch October 15th. Bring the kids, bring everybody out. I'm going to have my camera there. We're going to take pictures, and then I'm going to upload them on my website where you can download them and put them in your Christmas card or your Thanksgiving card or whatever that may be. And then, you know, but think about the things that are going on in your community that you can be involved in, that you can bring your past clients and your referrals and your business associates and everybody in. Hey, Paylin, haven't seen you in a while. And there's my brother, Patrick. And so that's what I kind of want to talk to you about, is just how to think about your database. Let's think about it in a new way, and let's really think forward with what you're going to do with it. It's the lifeline of your business. If you don't have that, then you're really going to be chasing leads all the time. And you don't really want to do that. You want to be really focused on your business, and you want to make it to where your business is running sufficiently, but you also don't want to have to just spend 15, 20 hours a day working in your business. You want to be able to enjoy what you have, enjoy your life, and by doing this, you can go back to your database, go back to your past clients, reconnect with them, and put that strategy in place on how you're going to move forward. So I'm going to put this little tips up on my website, on my blog. So, you know, of course, my website is kimhughes.com. Go to my blog. Probably tomorrow I'll have the notes up, so that way you can print them out if you want to, but you can also come back to the video. I'm going to upload the video so you can reference to that later as well. And then I'm also going to have a webinar on September the 24th at 7 o'clock. It's on a Sunday night, Central Time. And we're going to go really deep on how to do client connection, how to reconnect with people, and we're going to dive really deep on how to organize it, what you need to do to set it up so that it runs really smoothly for you, and that way you're not spending a lot of time and energy on it, but the time and the energy that you do spend on it is going to give you 100% return of investment. So thank you for joining me. I know it was kind of a short notice, but it was something that I was working on this afternoon, and I was really excited to share it with everybody. So if you have any questions or any comments, please put them down below. I'll respond to them. We always look at comments to see if anybody has any questions, and if you have a tip, we'd love to hear about it, and then we'll kind of go from there. But hopefully, you know, go to the blog tomorrow, you'll get the notes, you can watch this video again, and then hopefully you will join me on the 24th for my webinar. So y'all have a great evening, stay safe, take care, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.